Sales have been pretty bad for me on Poshmark and eBay, but let's go over a couple items that sold. First up are these Anine Bing boots. They took a year and a half to sell. They sold 50% off the listing price and I lost $26 on these boots. I was actually about to put these boots into a one-ad show because I really wanted to get rid of them. I've had them for way too long, and also shoes just take up a ton of space. So with me trying to move, I'm just trying to get rid of the things that are taking up a lot of space. So with these just being in my space for so freaking long, they needed to be gone. So a year and a half ago, these were actually so popular. I think these, and I think it's like the Chloe studded boots, they were so on trend. They were just like super in demand on the app, and then they just like fell off. No one cared about them anymore. These boots, I think I initially had them listed for probably close to $250, $300, and they got like a lot of activity on them, and I should have just like sold them back then. But now I think I had these listed around like $100 or $150, and they still weren't getting like any attention. So I just tried to move them out. But I have heard that studs are actually coming back in, like the whole Western type wear again. So who knows, maybe these will grow in popularity again, but I wasn't taking any chances on these and just wanted them gone. Next up is this Sandro dress. It took 1 month to sell and it sold 30% off the listing price, and I made a $98 profit off of this. May look familiar. I have this from the Rent the Runway sample sale. I definitely saw this and like picked it up immediately because I knew it was going to be a really popular style. This knit type dress with like piping, especially like denim piping, is super on trend. It gives off very like European vibes, which I find is what a lot of people are looking out for. So if you see anything like with a similar type style to it, definitely be sure to look it up, especially if it's a really expensive brand. Is this Love Shack fancy dress. It took a month and a half to sell. It sold for 30% off the listing price, and I made a $55 profit off of it. Now I spent $200 on this, so the return isn't great. However, I'm trying to be more mindful of being okay spending money if it's selling really quick and I can turn a $50 profit, because that's kind of my profit goal from now on, just in a shorter amount of time span. So with this dress, I initially thought I could get more for it, but I noticed at the bottom that the hem was a little undone and it wasn't supposed to be that way. For some reason I thought it was potentially, so that's why I decreased the listing price. It was the only one for sale, but I think that flaw is what caused it to not sell for as much. So just another thing to be aware of is making sure that you're checking your items thoroughly to make sure they don't have any outstanding flaws on them, or at least that you're purchasing at a price that makes sense if it does have flaws. Lastly is this Alex Perry dress. It took 7 months to sell. It sold 40% off the listing price, and I actually lost $5 on this. Now I do not like the brand Alex Perry anymore. I just think I'm not the best at knowing what styles are selling well for it in terms of what I come across when I'm online sourcing and shopping at consignment stores, because I don't really come across it too much at a great price to resell. So sometimes I buy it at a slightly lower price and thinking I can sell it for more. So I think it also just my knowledge about the brand. There are definitely some good styles out there, but I never come across them at a price good enough to resell. So I think I'm just gonna stop trying to really buy it all together. This brand, I think I sold like the ugliest dress in the past for like $500, probably like 2 years ago. That was when more people like didn't know about the brand and stuff like that. And now that it's a little bit more popular, the styles are selling for closer to $300-400 versus anywhere from like $600 to $700. So really looking at wanting to source it like $150 or under, which I'd probably still source it for, but I wouldn't expect trying to push for like a $500+ sale. Like I paid $211 for this, and that was just way too expensive. And the style of this is actually pretty classic, like black bodycon midi dress, so I thought it would be doing a lot better than it did, but I probably could have made more money off of it. But again, this was one of those items I could tell if I held on to it longer, I might just lose even more money over time. So I'm trying to be more mindful. If something isn't getting the activity it wants, being okay with losing more money up front and closer versus waiting and potentially making money, because I have so many items I've held on to like that I end up just losing so much money on. So I'm trying to do a little bit better about that. I had such a good beginning of August, and last week just wasn't good at all. I think it's just kind of one of those weeks that just aren't as populated on the app. So I think it's going to get better probably the next 2 weeks. It's always like in the up and down wave. I don't think there's anything specific going on. I was still listing some good items and such. So I think it was just not a huge week for buyers or my closet in general. I'm still going to be doing whatnot shows probably about like once a week until I move. I have to decide once I move and once I get rid of more inventory, like how often I want to do them, maybe like monthly at that point. But if you want to go ahead and shop shop some of those items that are coming from my closet starting at $1 versus buying them on my Poshmark closet, then you can go ahead and just follow me along on Whatnot. I think my next show is on Thursday this week at 6:30 Central Time.